Husband, wave husband. We're both well-rounded nerds. I am doing my makeup as quickly as possible because got up a little late today. If you don't know, which I don't see how you wouldn't know, we are at ADEPTICON. Yay! Wait, you forgot. Yay! I know, isn't he hilarious? You're so funny. First of all, I hope you all know people who show up that you can hear me because I don't have time to test today. But I am about to just put my makeup on real quick as we get ready to go. Now, this is not a real true get ready with me. Like, I am not a makeup guru. I'm just a girl who likes to do her makeup when she does events. But I will, for anyone who's watching who cares, real quick give you the skincare routine. So in the morning, it's very dry up here for me because we're both from the South. I'm originally from Nashville. Of course, we've moved to Alabama since getting married. But yeah, it's much more humid where I'm from. So whenever I have to travel up north to do stuff, I overly moisturize. So moisturizing routine at night, but this morning, wash face, and then I do a little micellar water, not sponsored. And then I also, before the micellar water, I use these cleansing pads from Trader Joe's. Then the micellar water, it cleanses and moisturizes, which I really love. And I do love this. I use at night, not in the mornings, but this is just a Korean toner brand that's sold at Costco of all places, right? And then we get to the real moisturizer, hyaluronic acid, and then a little bit of CeraVe. This one is multi-correction, hydrate, and plump. And it's got sunscreen in it, which no matter how great your skin is, a little sunscreen goes a long way. And then this is CeraVe moisturizing cream I put on top. And then when I was starting to learn how to really do my makeup, I learned that moisturizing was like the most important part. But that's not why y'all are here. I got that out of the way. I'm going to do my makeup while I talk to y'all about the Adept of Cons. So this is mine and my husband's first time at Adepticon. Never been. She does have to prime. We always use a primer. I just use it from L'Oreal. Again, not sponsored. I'm not big enough to have a sponsor. I'm just a weirdo on the internet talking about nerd stuff. But this is both our first time doing Adepticon. I honestly did not know what it was or that it existed until some friends of ours, who I shall name in this video and shout out all the great stuff they do, were like, hey, we're going to Adepticon. Y'all should go. That's how they said it, just like that. Thank you. Okay, I won't say that I'm not cool. Yes, we're all cool here. This is the nerdy corner of the internet where everyone's cool. We are very accepting nerds here. But they were like, hey, y'all should go to Adepticon. That's my nerd man voice. And I was like, what's Adepticon? Like, I've been to a lot of conventions. Like, fun fact, when I was younger, like way younger, like in my like late teens, like 18, 19, and like early 20s, I did get to do some professional cosplay. Back in the day, my mom had aspirations that I was going to be a model. That didn't happen because I'm very tall. So she was like, you should be a model. I was like, no, I like to eat. I'm very Southern. If you want me to be a model, you should have not raised me to be Southern. She likes ribs. But no, I got to do like fun nerd modeling kind of stuff, you know? So I did do some professional cosplay and stuff like that, but this isn't that kind of convention. There's a few cosplayers here. But it's not an anime convention. It's not a video gaming convention. I've gotten to do, back when E3 was still a thing, I've done E3. That was a good time. You know, but I don't think E3 exists anymore. I think the Panorama killed it. I can't say that word, but I can say killed. Algorithm. Okay, whatever. But it's fine. So they were telling us about it, and I just got into playing Warhammer 30K. I've always been into the lore. I love the books. I love the audiobooks. I will read I read them wikis. If I could have studied history in school the way that I have studied Warhammer lore, I'd be a doctor. You know, but yeah. So I tried doing the game when I was younger, just very quick backstory. Failed miserably at it. Was not good. We're just using L'Oreal True Match for the bottom coat here. And since I didn't do very well, I didn't pick it up for 20 more years. Fast forward to being married, my husband and our friend group we have found at the gaming stores have been most excellent. And they were like, hey, come game with us. So we did. And we've really gotten into it. Like twice a week, we go to the game store and do some kind of gaming. And it's fantastic. We've met really cool people. And some of those people I've gotten to meet here. We have developed adult friend groups, which y'all, if you've tried to make friends as a grown person, that's the hardest thing to try to do is make friends as an adult. Game, you'll find people, I promise. And if those people aren't cool, find more people. Like, just find your local hobby store, start gaming. Like, the easiest way to make friends as a grown, especially after moving, because most of my friends, well, pre-married friends are in Nashville, and I was like, we're gonna find friends. I'm highly social. I like people. I can't do not having people around me. But yeah, this has been it. So we decided to come and brought our armies. Okay, I brought way more army than he did. So I signed up to do on the first day, which was Thursday. Is that right, babe?
Wednesday, technically the Thursday when you first game.
Yeah, Wednesday was check-in day. Thursday was the first, like, no, there was events on Wednesday. We just weren't signed up for it. My first event was Thursday. There was stuff going on Wednesday. I didn't do anything. So they're like, hey, come to this big convention. And this is like a tabletop gaming. So if it's a game that requires humans to interact, that's what ADEPTICON is. But interact live, not the Fortnites and the Minecrafts and all that. Nothing wrong with those. We're Baldur's Gate people. But it's a, hey, are you with this person to play the game, those games. So all the games that we've been introduced to at the nerd stores, that's what we came with and our friends. So Aeronautica Imperialis was the first one that I got into. And it is a Warhammer game, but it is a dogfighting game. So the whole point of Aeronautica is you're flying your planes around the map and you're shooting down your enemies. Our Aeronautica group, which is hosted by Lead Pursuit, we will be broadcasting tonight at 9. And I'm going to see if I can't set my camera up to broadcast on YouTube. If not, I'll just, of course, put the lead, just go to the leadpursuit.tv on Twitch, and you'll be able to watch it there. But we're going to, that's part of the reason we got up a little late today. He's tired, but I'll get there. It's a good tired. It's not a bad tired. But yeah, we'll be doing a podcast with them. But Lead Pursuit, the gentleman who runs Lead Pursuit, super nice. So shout out to Doug first. He has been one of the first people we met. So it was his Aeronautica group. Him and Chris, Chris, me and pronouncing your last name. Bergeron? Yes. They were the first like gaming people we met down here. So there was a paint party at High Ground Hobbies, which is one of the hobby stores we love to go to. And at that paint party, they did a, hey, we've printed out miniatures for Aeronautica, because they don't make Aeronautica anymore. So unless you're real lucky and got a friend who goes to Singapore for work and buys you some, thanks, Dad. You can't find them. So they had printed them out, and then they had a learn to play. So me and my husband, I painted Necron, he painted something orcish, and we learned to play, and then we loved it. So we became cool friends with those guys. So that's our Aeronautica crew. Today is my Aeronautica game. And then later tonight is like our big like Lead Pursuit, continuing our narrative. So we're doing RPG style, just in our little group. Doug is our game master, and he runs a fun game. And if you try to kill my character one more time, Doug, I'm joking, joking a little, but no, we're having a good time. So then we met other people. So I just, started helping my husband do a little bit of painting on his stuff. So then I started painting my own armies. Like, you know what? Let's do this. For Christmas 2 years ago, he got me the Horus Heresy box that has the 2 armies in it, the Age of Darkness box. I was like, well, I guess I play Heresy now. So the first army I built was Emperor's Children, and that's who I brought with me this week, was the Emperor's Children. I tell you what, doing your makeup in a camera, I can really see what I look like. I should do this from now on, all the time. This is good. cheekbones, y'all, cheekbones. But that's not why we're here. You're not here for the cheekbones. You're here for the Adepticon. But yeah, so he bought that for me, and I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? Built it. And printing and building and gluing and all that later. She has 3,000 points of Emperor's Children, not including the Titan that she has, my Warhound. So my first game this week was a 10-hour Warhammer 30K tournament. Woo! I've done an all-day tournament before. It's been very local. Y'all, I didn't get to eat that day. Because, like, once you're done at one table, you have to move to your next. So, like, whenever you get a break, you got to move your stuff. They judged our armies. It was a good time. But I got to meet some more cool people. Yeah, 10 hours. Yeah, that's what I said. 10 hours. That was not including the breaks. The gameplay was 10 hours. Yeah. Yeah, I signed up for this mess. I don't know what I was thinking. Waterline. But I got to meet a lot of really cool people, especially another podcast group that's on YouTube. So shout out to the Accountability Buddies. They do just a lot of Warhammer podcasting, primarily in the 30K world. And sometimes they bring on some of the other people I've mentioned, Christian and Doug, as guests to talk about other events that have happened. And they were so kind to shout me out a couple of weeks ago on their podcast. I missed our local event because she had to travel for work and came home with the flu and the Rona. There should be people in cosplay. There's a little cosplay, not nearly as much as if you would go to an anime convention. There's a little cosplay. There's not a lot of cosplay. She's changing that next year. She gonna be a sister. She gonna sorority some tie. I'm doing it. I'm gonna have to pack a third suitcase just for cosplay next year. Because I was like, man, I thought there'd be way more cosplay than this. There should be more. There should be. Maybe on the last day people really go nuts, but so far there has not been a ton. There's been a little. It's fine. I'll add to the crazy next year. But yeah, so the Accountability Buddy shouted me out. I missed the last tournament because I came home from work travel with first the flu and then the vid. 2 in a row. 2 in a row. My God, today. She was miserable. Everyone around me was miserable. If I had to be sick, you all had to be sick. That's how I felt about it. Actually, that Mr. Got a good immune system over here. Fine. Fine.
I got sick with one of those.
He got sort of sick with one of those. I was down for the count when I got the vid. The flu, he kind of got a little bit of it, but he didn't get it as bad as me. The vid didn't touch him, but the vid got me. Yes. So I missed our last tournament locally, which I was very sad about. But I knew I was coming to Adepticon. My boss took me off the road because she knew I had vacation coming with my husband. And she was like, you're not going to miss your vacation. Go home and rest so that you can go to your convention. And I really appreciate her doing that because I'm having a blast. So I got to meet the Accountability Buddies on day one. They were hosting the first Warhammer tournament I did, and that was the Pillars of Dolos Prime. You gotta say Warhammer stuff in your Warhammer voice. Otherwise it doesn't count. Now I gotta decide what's the makeup today. So I bought...
mean I have to use a bad Cockney accent whenever I talk?
Please don't. He can't do accents. You will not. No. He can't do accents. So I brought my Adventure Time palette, Harry Potter, and Rick and Morty, along with this foolishness. I got this one in Mexico. You ready for it? I know, right? Yeah, so she's ridiculous. Y'all knew that. Otherwise you wouldn't be here. So now it's time to choose how ridiculous I'm going to be. It's not a matter of being ridiculous. It's how ridiculous. Like the YouTube channel. I think I'll do my eyes, then my blush. Moisten the lips first, because, you know what I need to do? Lock in the moisture I've done so far. This is also a Trader Joe's facial toner. It's a spray toner. I learned from Makeup YouTube. I love you, Makeup YouTube, because she didn't know what to do until she met y'all. In between layers, moisten your face, because moisturizer is actually what keeps the makeup on, and it keeps it from ruining your skin. Even the best makeup's not good for your skin. That's why I don't wear it every day. Why am I wearing it today? Because it's a convention. Yeah, we're bringing looks. You're dressing for the male gaze. I sure am dressing for the male gaze. I have a male. I'm dressing for his gay. Huh?
And he appreciates it.
And he appreciates it. So yeah, dressing for the male gaze. So there's gonna be somebody out there who's gonna get me for that comment. It's fine. That's why the delete and hide button exists. But yeah, so the accountability buddies were there, and they were so cool. I got to meet all of them face to face. So Duncan and Jack, hey guys, like they were just so cool. Oh, I missed one gentleman's name. There was help me dear, Duncan, Jack.
Who are we talking about?
The accountability buddies.
Is there a Joe?
Not Joe. I didn't meet Joe. Joe is 30K down in the Babalama. It's not Chris. In the South, if you don't know somebody's name, just guess Chris or Mike, and you'll probably be right. Oh, actually, his name might be Chris. Darling, my mind is blanking. I'm gonna come reintroduce myself and make sure that I get you correct, because now I feel like a jerk. But they were super nice. They helped me understand how this tournament was gonna work. They partnered me up with some really cool people. My first opponent on the 10-hour game day, which really turned out to be 12, was who was it? Oh, Alpha Legion. I'm Emperor's Children playing against Alpha Legion. Y'all know what happened. The first game was 1,500. No, we went 2,000 points. Second game was 2,500. Third game was 3,000, and that's where my Titan was used. And fortunately, Lead Pursuit, Doug's group, they were able to bring my Titan for me in a car. The rest of my army I packed in my little makeup case carry-on, which is a revelation, by the way. Whoever makes that case, that should be my first sponsor, because this for army, best decision I ever made. Best ever. I'm putting a base coat for my eye color. That way the colors actually pop a little bit more. Because, she loves colors. She's very into it. Wait, y'all should see the pants I'm wearing. They have pink bows all the way up and down the side. I have to do a little shopping on behalf of my husband today. He's gotten to go shopping. I have not. This is my shopping day. But he'll get to do a little bit more shopping in between events today. But yeah, so I got to meet the accountability buddies. They gave me the lay of the land, helped me understand, like, this is how our tournament works, this is what you can expect, all that kind of good stuff. And they were so super nice. I do believe in supporting local business, and they're kind of part of our Warhammer sphere. I got a play mat from them, which actually is a really good one. And then I got a couple of posters from them, which she loves a thing to put on the wall. And since the attached garage is about to become my little haven, that's where those posters are going to go. In the attached garage on the walls. Because we need all the color we can get in all the house. But I had a great time. Now, I did title this live, The Good, The Awesome, and The Questions. So, let me preface this. Can I preface? Well, she's going to do it anyway. When you go to an event that is primarily made up of people who may or may not have the greatest of social skills, there are just certain things that you need to be aware are going to happen. Now, in any group, doesn't matter if it's a group of socially adept people or not, there is a possibility of, hey, I don't think that's how that was supposed to work. It can happen, okay? So humans are going to human, no matter how great the humans are. So my first couple of games were awesome. I learned so much. If you are having trouble learning these games, you need to go to a tournament. Especially if you have a local group that's cool, right? Especially if you have a local group that's cool. And they might be hard to find, but trust me, they're there. Does she want blue eyes today? I'm wearing blue jeans. Yeah. You know what? It's 1995. We're gonna have blue eyes. Ooh. Rick and Morty has awesome blues. We're going with the Rick and Morty palette. So we're gonna base in this crazy blue from Mr. Meeseeks Blue. Yeah. I'm Mr. Meeseeks. Look at me. I play Emperor's Children, which I thought I was done with that army, but I've learned so much that there's like 10 more things that I need to buy that I'm going to go get today to do more with my army. I play Emperor's Children. In Kill Team, I play Word Bearers, Chaos Word Bearers. The other half of my army, my box is going to be, hey, Twisted Nerves, you're here, woo! The other half of my Age of Darkness box is going to be salamanders. But I've been told finish one army completely, then work on the others. So the Sallies won't get built until I'm satisfied with my Emperor's Children. And dadgum, I came here and found more stuff to buy. Ain't that how it goes? Yeah, my army's done. It's not. It's not. There's so much more that I need to do to make this awesome. Oh, we're going real 90s with this blue. But yeah, so I had a couple of games that were really, really awesome. I had Alpha Legion first. You ever play Alpha Legion? Alpha Legion and Night Lords. You're doing too much. Doing too much. Because, yeah, they have this ability where they can deploy in another round, and if you can't steal the initiative, you won't be able to figure out like where they are. Let's see here. You know what, Lorgar and Fulgrim? Fulgrim, here's why I rock with Fulgrim. Yes, he went full demon. It's fine. Sometimes you go full demon. It's a good time. But before he went full demon, Fulgrim was the only Primarch who was like, hey, if we're not fighting for the things humanity creates and makes us beautiful and human, what are we even doing? He was the only one who was like pro-human. I rock with Fulgrim. And he just wanted to have a good time. He's like, you know what? Dad laid me off from my job. I'll never be the favorite. Even though he was the only Legion that got to bear the Emperor's name, even Horus didn't get that honor. So who's the real favorite? That's the question. Start a debate in the comments. But yeah, so I rocks with Fulgrim. And then Lorgar, don't punish your least favorite kid in front of your favorite kid. That's never going to work. The Emperor is the cause of all his own problems, so we don't feel bad for the Emperor of Mankind on this channel. Even though she loves the salamanders and Rabute, didn't rock with Rabute until Vulcan lives and Rabute saves Vulcan. Then I was like, oh, Rabute, we like you. You know, so yeah, don't be punishing one kid in front of the other. That's bad. Emperor. Anywho, a little makeup goes a long way, y'all. Everyone doesn't do it. You do what makes you happy. I don't always wear makeup. I typically do not. Like, ask him, babe, how often do I wear makeup?
When we go out on date nights. So
Date.
Not often.
Yeah, no, we go on
We
date
go on
night.
date nights pretty often, but not like every day.
I know Vulcan's coming back, right? Yeah, I don't wear it every day. It's a teaching for work, fancy date night, and stuff. Ooh, that's a good question. Who's the next Primarch? I heard that those two empty slots, you know, the ones we don't speak of, I heard that they're giving them spots. There's a lot going on here. Maybe I'll do a part 2 after we're done to see if I learn any Warhammer intel while I'm here. So yeah, so first game was Daggum Alpha Legion with their, I get to jump in later, but I stole initiative, so that was kind of great. I stole initiative twice in 2 different games. It was kind of great. And I'll be honest, like in the the 30K tournament, she lost. She lost bad. Had a great time though, learned a lot. Between my first game and my third game, I learned so much. So this is the part where I have to tell you the questions, the weird. So again, I prefaced, when you are dealing with folks who may or may not have the best of social skills, and who may or may not have pinned their whole life around a particular fictional universe, you just have to expect that sometimes things are going to go, oh, make you do this. And we don't get mad. We don't yell. We don't behave in an uncouth way. It's going to happen. So one of the games I played, and I will not tell you in which game, because I played lots of games. So I played 30K. I played Zone Mortalis. I'm playing Aeronautica. I'm playing Splendor, Magic, lots of games. So I'm going to tell you which game. But I had a game where a gentleman who I sensed that this was his entire life, which is fine. I do Taekwondo. It's my entire life. Time for the sparkle. And he may or may not have, he did, engineered some of the flexing of game rules to his favor, because the thought of losing to me apparently was too much to bear. So I won't tell you all the things he did, or you'd be able to figure it out. But I did ask the judges about it later. I was like, hey, was he allowed to do this? And they were like, no, not at all. I was like, okay, I just need to know because I didn't know enough about the game to challenge anything. I'm not here to get anybody in trouble. I just need to know. That's the most I'll say about it. You're going to encounter that no matter how great a group is. There's one in every single group. There's one, might be two in a crowd this size. How many people are here?
Thousands.
There's 20 or 30,000 people here. Everywhere. So in a group this size, yeah, those people agree. Yeah, those people exist. You can't get around it. Even in the best crowds, there's one. They're there somewhere. Ooh, she's shiny today. They're there. So you just have to accept that, especially if you have a smaller gaming community, you might encounter more of them. Now, there are some games that lend to jerkitude more than others. I'm looking at you, Lorcana. Why is Disney this way? You're Disney. You're supposed to be the nice ones. Disney done got cutthroat. So, I'm about to use my sparkly blue Ravenclaw eyeliner. Why? Because it's there. Actually, let me do a little under eye color. That way it has a base and will pop. But yeah, he bent the rules and made the rules in his favor. I kind of knew he was bending the rules, but again, I didn't know enough to be like, hey, I don't think you can do that. And he kind of knew I didn't know enough because I told him I'm no liar. There's no point in lying. Like, yeah, I don't know enough to challenge you on anything. Sorry. I think he was kind of annoyed playing someone new. There was someone else who was just as new as I was to this particular game. And he did the same thing to them. So, yeah. So I say that to say this. In our nerd communities, we know that certain types of hobbies attract certain types of personalities, typically. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is not a comment on society. This is a statement of what is. And sometimes certain hobbies, even though there's 20,000 of us here, 30,000, however many are here, we're going back to our own communities. This is an international tournament. So while there may be a bunch of us concentrated here right now, when we go home, there may not be as many. I'm fortunate to live in a city that's white collar nerd positive. My city caters to nerds. Am I right there? Indeed. So yeah, that city's made for us. I mean, if you can't find them, move to Huntsville, Alabama. It's for you. Get you an engineering job, come to Huntsville, everything you want is here. You'll find great people. Everyone doesn't have that. Most don't have that. I can tell you where I'm from in Nashville, the tabletop community was this big. So I didn't play up there because there were so few people, and the people who were playing were interesting. That's how I'll say that. They were interesting personalities. So because of that, that's another reason I didn't really get into gaming. So be the environment that you want. Do you want to have people to play the games with? Like, I teach martial arts. I always use martial arts as an example. In my particular martial art, I'm basically as high up as you can get. There's nowhere else for me to go. Next month, how do you find these spaces to play? Do you need invitations? If it's a cool group, no. Get on meetup.com. A lot of gaming groups have meetup links, so you can just sign up to go play. I would get Bama Heresy has connections to gaming groups in other places. They are super welcoming. Get in contact with Blake Hayes. He runs Bama Heresy with Chris, and I'm shouting everybody out today. Again, not sponsored, just love these people. Get in contact with them, and they will probably be able to help you find a group. Because the Bama Heresy, even though it's Alabama Horse Heresy, they have friends everywhere. So, because they've been gaming for 30 years. I've been gaming for 9 months. So, I'm not the one who knows everybody, but I know who does. That's what I say at work. If I don't know how, I don't know. I know who. And if I don't know who, I'll find out who does. So, yeah. Get in contact with the Bama Heresy. BAMA Heresy. But yeah, so if you want to have good people to game with, trust me, one of Chris's best friends is in the UK, in the Warhammer world. When I said get in contact with Bama Heresy, I meant it. They got people everywhere. It's crazy. And I do too, because of my job. I've got friends all over the place, and because of Taekwondo. So back to my example. In Taekwondo, I'm as high as I can get. Next month, I will actually be taking my final black belt test. I'll never get to take another one. My instructor is 83, going on to 84. and he wants me to be able to create masters in his absence. That's the most I'll say about that because I can't think about that without crying. And he's healthy. Nothing's happening to him anytime soon, but he knows how old he is. I only tested for my sixth degree last year, so it's technically 6 or 7 more years before I'd be eligible to test for seventh. But as a seventh, I can create masters, which is sixth degree. So that's what he wants me to be able to do, especially since I'm starting my own class. So there's nowhere else for me to go in Taekwondo. I'm as high as it gets. And even though martial arts is great, it's still a made up human construct. We invented it. All the rules and accolades that apply are because we decided they do, right? Just like in Warhammer or Aeronautica or Magic or anything else. It's all a human construct. It's all, even though there are rules and, engagements and that kind of thing, we still made it up. But sometimes people make that their whole life. And as an instructor, especially as a senior instructor, it is not my job to make people feel like they don't have a place in what we do. When people come into our martial arts school and they're new and they don't understand and they don't feel like they'll fit in, as a senior instructor, it is my job to, one, make them welcome, especially if they're kids, families with kids. Like, think about being a child. You this big? Remember being that big? Remember being the size of that? You don't. I do. That's why you can't lie to me. I remember everything. But think about how scary the world is from a child's perspective. You're looking at all these strange giants who have all the control. You can't get anywhere by yourself. You can't get food on your own. It's scary. So I've made a practice, like when I'm working with little kids, down on the knee, be eye level with them, be welcoming with them before you show them how to do something. Little boy, little girl, do you mind if I, show you how to do this right? You create an environment with my young people, very encouraging. I want them to be able to do the art well when they go off to college or get married or whatever they're going to do. I want them to be able to not need it, but if they do need it, that they'll be able to use it well. So I try to create the environment that people want to be there. It's not about me showing off how great I am. I'm a 6th-degree black belt. There's nothing left to show. My tournament days are behind me. I'm an instructor. It's my job to make other people great. And people want to come to our school and to my class because they feel welcome. They feel like they can find a place there. They feel like they've got people on their side. And it's not just me. We all try to be that way. Now, once in a while you get one. Every crowd has one or two. They don't last because nobody wants to be around them. I love this eyeliner. It's so sparkly. Sparkle, sparkle. Is that not the best thing you've ever seen? I know my channel is mostly dudes. But if you try to get your nerd girl on your side, all these nerd sets of makeup, even if she doesn't like makeup, we still like to play with makeup. Get her the nerd makeup. There, I just helped you. You're welcome. I should charge for that advice. But yeah, so create that welcoming environment. Make people want to be there. And then you'll be surprised by how many people want to be a part of what you're doing. And one person yesterday, well, actually two, I'll tell you about the other one in a second. No, the day before yesterday, decided that, his ability to win in, Warhammer, where there are no prizes other than, man, you did a good job, decided to make it miserable for a couple of people. And thankfully, I have way more positive experiences than negative. Had that person been the first person I played, I might have had a different opinion of the day. But thankfully, he was not the first person I encountered in the gaming this week. I had all positive people first, which set a really good tone for wanting to be a part of the rest of the week. And because of those people, because of the accountability buddies, and because of Chris and Blake and Doug, even Connor to a certain extent. He's like my little brother. He's gonna watch this and be like, really? Because of my husband, who's probably the most positive person who ever lived. I don't know why he's with me. But
because you said yes.
Yeah, well, you asked. I said yes, I did my job. But because of that, I have a gaming environment I like being in. And I didn't make a stink when that happened. It happened. And, went on about my business. Obviously, it meant way more to him than it did to me. So whatever. You have your thing that matters to you. So much that you're willing to ruin the day for other people. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. You want more people to game with. You can't play these games on your own. These games, one of the reasons I like tabletop games, and we were actually telling our Uber driver about it yesterday, because he was like, what's going on? So I was explaining to him, that it was a human gaming convention, that it's all about people being with one another and gaming. He was like, that is so positive. He was African. I want to say Ghanaian. But he's like, that is so positive. I was like, yeah, I know, right? It's great. We're there just enjoying, human gaming together. He was like, how great to not be on the videos. I was like, yeah, I know. It's great. Gaming's good. That's creating a positive environment where more people want to be a part of what you're doing. And my husband told him about some of the games that he plays. I told him a little bit about the stuff that I play. And he was just so interested. And that's how you create. Now, look, not everybody's a social butterfly. I am an extroverted extrovert. I don't know what the word stranger means. Strangers are just friends. I don't know. That's how I look at strangers. Everyone's not like that. Some people are terrified of people they don't know. That's okay. Us extroverts, we will adopt you. We'll adopt you and we'll drag you along with us. But the cool thing about these games is because they're universe based for the most part, it brings people in. Like, Lord of the Rings, Rick and Morty, anything else. You find a universe that you like and get in there and get into it. I'm almost done with my makeup, and once the makeup's done, the live is done. But he didn't create a positive environment, but there were more people who did. And having more people who did than didn't made me want to keep going. Because I'll be honest, I was, mildly sad about that moment when I realized I had been bamboozled. I was like, oh, well, that wasn't nice. But I talked to the judges about it the next day, and I was like, hey, is this a thing that should have happened? And they were like, absolutely not. If it happens again, we must be told. And I was like, I will, now that I know that I should have told you. I will definitely speak up if something like that were to happen again. Be the reason people want to be there. You can't game alone. Now, everyone has a gaming culture. I have people that I talk crap with. Hey, Connor. That we just gonna talk foul to each other because we're friends that way. We all have that group. But if it's not your group and you don't have permission to do that, think about the environment that you're creating. Will people want to come back? Are you going to create an environment where you don't have people to game with? Are you going to be in best service of what matters to you? And that's what I teach, as a corporate trainer is, when you're out there being you and being great and be great. All right. There's only one of you. We need all of it. But remember, is the way you're showing up in best service of the goal you're trying to achieve. If it's not, we may need to make a course correction. We may need to do something just a little bit different to create the environment that you want. The other thing that really kind of ticked me off, I'll be honest, almost made me cry. We all put our armies out, everybody's walking by, and I'll be honest, me, my sparkly army, genuinely get a pretty positive impact. Am I a good enough painter to win an award? No. That's never going to happen. But they are like that fan favorite kind of thing. Like people are like, oh my God, you have pink space marines. How did you get Turbo Dork to actually work? So I gave a lot of Turbo Dork advice for the past couple of days. You got to base it in the blackest black that ever blacked. Unless it's a light metallic. I learned from a professional yesterday that should probably base in like a gray black, a light gray black. She's going to do some experimenting. I learned a lot. So a lot of folks walking by wanting to take pictures of the army and stuff. It was a good time. Somebody just randomly came up to me, and I don't know why. And they were like, I like your purple Terminators. Those are hideous. And I was like, okay. Like, what was I supposed to say? Glad you felt bold enough to do that, I guess. But just basically walked up and told me how ugly my army was. And I was like, oh, well, again, there's one in every crowd. Everything's not going to be to everyone's taste. You also have to remember that in an environment like this, we're highlighting. You want good you want all the colors in makeup, Mexico. That's where I get all my ridiculous makeup is Mexico. Because that is a country of color and she's here for it. Um, but yeah, just walk up, told me my army was ugly. Don't do that. Everything's not going to be to everyone's taste, and we're all building our armies, right? Every army is a labor of love. Some people are really good at building. I'm not. I suck at building. Thankfully, I married a builder. Yeah, I keep having him wave. He's probably like, "When are you going to be done so we can go eat and shop?" Because at this rate, you're shopping and I'm just existing. But hey, this is the cost of having a girl. If you want a girl, it's how it works. But yeah, um, everything is to each individual taste and skill level. I've only been seriously painting Warhammer for like a year, maybe year and a half. Yeah, it's all about the person. I mean, Warhammer even left two spots open, the untalked about Pride box, those who shall not be named, basically so you can create your own army, which I think is clever. I don't think I'm gonna go bronzer today because I feel like my cheeks are popping. No, we're gonna do a little bronzer. I lied. And then lips, and I'm done. Bake that face. I'm sparkly. I always make sure I take the makeup I used with me. That way, if we have a makeup incident, we can fix it. But just a little bit of bronzer. You know, that wasn't cool. And honestly, he hurt my feelings. Had I not been dehydrated and hungry, might have cried. Didn't have the wherewithal. I told my husband about it later, and he was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Yeah, I know, right?" And I'm out here trying to be nice to everyone. Um, but we went to a professional painting class yesterday, taught by a gentleman from Germany, of all places. No, Austria, not Germany. He was Austrian, and he was a professional airbrusher. He owns his own studio. What was his name? Do you remember, dear? Marcus.
Marcus K.
Marcus K. Can't say his last name. Sorry. I don't butcher people's names. If I can't say your name, I'll just not say it rather than butcher it. But he was really great. Just gave us so many tips. And so at the end, he had like an open question time. So I took my army up there for him to look at and say, "Hey, what could I have done better?" And he actually looked at my tank and went, "It's great." And I was like, "Oh, validation." You know, in that moment. But he's like, "No, this looks really good. You should be proud of what you've done." And I was like, "Oh, so I'm not the worst painter that ever was." You know, because I was kind of feeling like I was the worst painter that ever was there for a second. Pulling out my lipsticks. I am almost done now. I think we're gonna go purple and pink today. But that little bit of validation from a pro actually made me feel really good. And he had some tips in that class that I never would have thought of, like using ink as your primer, especially on small figures, because it fills in the gaps perfectly. I was like, ink? Really? Like, just good tips. Good to have a pro tell me that I did all right. You know, not perfect, well, all right. He actually was wowed by my tank, which felt even better because I got the color shift perfect on the tanks. Be that guy. Just be that guy. Be the person that makes it welcoming for other people to be a part of what you're doing. That's what I've learned from this convention. Are we going to come back? Yeah, we're already making plans to come next year. We're coming next year, right, dear?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not scared off because one person wasn't cool. It's gonna happen. There's no environment where this many people get together and everybody's gonna be an A plus. It's just not possible. If that's something you're hoping for, let me take that bubble and summarily burst it, because that's not gonna happen. But you can choose to be that person. You can choose to be the person that makes it possible for everybody to have a good time. And that's what I like doing. And the last thing I'll talk about as I finish my makeup here is I've actually gotten to meet a few of you here, which is weird being recognized because I'm no celebrity. I'm just a weirdo on the internet talking about nerd stuff with other nerds. I really wish YouTube would let us do photo comments because I go to y'all's channels and look at your work, but the channel that I record on is not my watch channel. I have a personal account, so I be commenting everywhere, but y'all don't know who that is. I'm like, I wish they let us share photos in the comments. YouTube, make it happen. They're not listening to me. I'm not near important enough for YouTube to do anything that I've asked for. but be that person. Be the person that makes people want to be a part of your hobby. A lot of times people who do these hobbies are already on the outskirts of polite society, of the mainstream. Although with this many people here, you'd think it was more mainstream. I mean, Games Workshop is making their money. Magic the Gathering is making their money. Forgotten Realms is making their money. But when it comes to mass pop culture, not everything is. So when you're already a part of a fringe group, don't make your fringe group more inaccessible to people. Let's celebrate everyone's unique qualities that make us happy nerds together, yes, and let's make a welcoming environment where everybody wants to be. I talked way more about the people who made a positive impact on my day than the one or two folks who made a negative impact. Why? Because I have more of those memories than the bad ones, for sure. No matter how great something is, every crowd have one or two, but all of us can choose to not be that guy. Don't be that guy. Choose to be the one who says, hey, I want more people to do this hobby. I want to spread this hobby. I want this hobby to be enjoyable for as many people as possible. I'm going to be the one that does their best. We're all different socially. Find the extrovert in your group and have them be your evangelist. So the last thing I need to do is choose my jewelry for the day. And I brought jewelry from several places. Brought a lot of my Mexico jewelry with me up here. I wore Mexico butterflies yesterday. I got this. My husband got it for me when we were on vacation in Cozumel last year. Is that not sensational? It is so stinking pretty. And I'm wearing blue jeans, so it matches the jeans. I think I love jewelry more than makeup. I do really love playing in makeup, but jewelry is just everything. I have a silver butterfly earring in here that does not belong there, so I'll have to get it back to its mate. I will fix that. Yeah, these are definitely what I want. These all have to put earring backs on. My husband will have to help me with that bracelet because I can't put it on by myself. But be the reason. Be the good memory. When I teach, my teaching philosophy, whether it's at work, children's church, Taekwondo, is that when you're a teacher, you're already a memory. Be a good memory. Be that good memory for someone. So would I recommend coming to ADEPTICON? Absolutely. Please do. It's expensive, but everything is. But I'll be honest, as far as like stuff like this goes, this is not the most expensive vacation I've ever had. And we're all in different parts of life. Y'all weren't there for my journey. I have one. That's where we'll leave it. I'm on the side of my life where there is more enjoyment than sorrow. And you'll get there. Just keep plugging away at it. And you'll get to do stuff like this. And you'll get to meet more cool people. And you'll get to engage in activities with cool people. But yeah, I would highly recommend that if you get to come at least once, definitely do it. Find a group of friends. They'll make it better to have people to come and do this hobby with. We're baking the face, and that means she's done. Makeup set. But I am only an hour late getting out of this room. So we are going to go have a day of Adepticoning. And I hope you enjoyed. I didn't get to all the comments because I was sitting here doing makeup, but I will get back into comments probably tomorrow. We have a long day today because that's another reason we woke up late is we have a long gaming night tonight. This is going to be our late night game. A lot of these games have events going till midnight. Yeah, she is not 20. So, yeah, that's for them youngsters and for me. But tonight will be our night because it's with our group. So look for me to post when we stream later on this evening. Please join us if you are able to watch that stream on Twitch. We'll be glad to have you. Got my little makeup bag packed for the day in case I need to do any touch-ups. But yeah, I'll get back into comments probably tomorrow sometime because I have an easy day tomorrow. But until then, I hope you enjoyed the live. Thank you everyone who watched and popped in. And I'll answer your comments as soon as I get a chance. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Say bye, dear.
Goodbye, dear.
You're so funny. How do I turn off the live? X. No. Aha, that's how. Bye.